Alright, what up nerds? This is God DK Rockstar from Skull Crusher server. This is a little video on the Frost rotation, talents, add-ons, rotation, more rotation, stat priority, and rotation, because that's pretty much all the questions that I get on my YouTube videos and tells. So here's a short little video on how to play Frost DK, because for some reason this is a difficult class to some people and it shouldn't really need an explanation on how to play it, because all you do is you pick up your keyboard off your desk and you put your face on it and then you just roll it. And the trick that you want to do when you roll your face on your keyboard is to just try to hit as many buttons as possible. And that's pretty much how you're going to kill people. These people that you kill are typically nerds, as you can see on my other videos that I've uploaded onto my channel. This is just to answer all the questions that I've had so far lately on how to play Frost DK as it stands. My add-ons as they go, I start off with shadowed unit frames. These are the target and focus target add-on. You can see your main assist, target of your targets, your pets if you play Unholy for some fucking reason. And also bosses if you are into dragon slaying. This add-on is pretty good. I like it. I've had no issues with it since I got it. You can move them all around the place however you feel. You got your colored classes. You can show their characters or their classes. It doesn't matter. It's up to you. I just like being able to know if it's a warrior based on the color or such. Other DK's health, how much runic power they have, what presence they're in, shit like that. Other add-ons that I have is Nug running. Say I have my Horn of Winter or diseases that I have currently on the target. I could also have it set up to other targets. If I set this as my focus, I'll be able to tell like how many diseases I have on it, how many diseases I have on a different target, all at the same time if I wanted it set up that way, but I don't. And once those diseases run out, it'll get rid of it. It's not going to go to negative numbers like I've seen other add-ons like it have. I've been using Nug running for a long time now. It's been a very stable add-on for me, and I do like it. Other add-ons, I have my Razor Naga add-on. Swifty tried to give me a Razor Naga, and I was like, fuck no, I already have one. I don't need your lame-ass product. And that pretty much upset him, because this was back in Wrath when I met him, and I told him I was the God DK and I've never lost to a warrior. He didn't believe me, and he refused my duel, just like everyone else on the Skull Crusher server does. With this Razor Naga add-on, you can move these bars around, hide them, make them show whenever you mouse over them. So I have all my mounts of random shit that I don't need to see every now and then. Here, it hides when I'm not hovered over it. I can set up my keybinds through the WoW UI, or I can use the Razor Naga add-on to do that. You can show your alerts, your cast bar, item rolls, and pretty much move the sizes to however you feel. I also use the SCADA add-on. It's better than Recount. I don't know why people use Recount. This is a lot more sturdy, doesn't use as much information from your CPU or whatever the fuck the nerds call it. So I can choose whatever I want to see, and then I can see who's breaking CC breaks, interrupts, healing, damage, all random shit. So when someone fucks up, I can be like, yo, you fucked up because you're not doing any damage, and here's my fucking link, and I'll link it. I don't give a fuck. I'm a God DK. So I can see my damage, what moves I use, whether they hit, miss, crit, glance, whatever the fuck. And that'll help you determine what's going wrong with your spec. As far as my talent tree goes, I'm Frost, obviously, with 3, 31, 7, There are two different frost specs for dual wielding. You can put points to have your blood spec. This way you'll take a little less damage with the 4% blade barrier that no longer requires you being hit to activate or using blood runes to activate. You can also put an extra point in scent of blood so you can gain more runic power if you wanted to, but you need to be taking direct damage for that to happen pretty much. So you can silence people 1 minute faster than the average Frost DK could, which is good. Whether it's better than having your points in desecration is up in the air. I don't really care. I'll let the nerds figure that out. All I know is that healers have a hard time running away from you when they're slowed all the time. So that's why I have points in desecration, because these motherfuckers are not going to get away from me. I'm a fucking DK. And if they're getting away, oh, change the ice. Imagine that. Not going nowhere. So as far as glyphs go, pretty much it's self-explanatory. You get less runic power use on your frost strikes. You get your frost fever applied whenever you use Howling Blast, which is great for BGs because splash damage on your fucking frost strike. Oh wow, all these people now have their fucking frost fever applied to them. And this goes back to your frost unholy subspec where your diseases are doing 30% more damage, which is nice. So you go back to your glyph page, you look at here, you have an extra longer anti-magic shell, which should be about 6 or 7 seconds. You have all your shit that you can possibly point into Death Grip being better, so somebody uses Ice Block or something, they bubble. Right as you Death Grip, you get your point, your time refunded back to you. You also can Death Grip from way the fuck away, like that ghoul over there. I could probably Death Grip his ass. And going back to your talents, you pretty much, whenever you kill somebody, your Death Grip is reset. So getting the killing blow is actually really key to getting more killing blows. So if you're on some motherfucker and you're Howling Blast like crazy trying to get the last set of damage in, all of a sudden your shit's reset, you're back on this guy, your runes are back, you're death striking and fucking killing this dude, and then all of a sudden your shit's reset. Some guy's running away because you just fucked up their whole team. Death Grip from across the fucking map, and now he's dead. So you're really just getting fucking Death Grips like crazy, and it's just a powerhouse because this DK is now killing everybody, and they are all trying to run away because they're Horde, and that's what they're good at. So that's why Death Grip is an amazing move. Your stat priority, since I run Blood Flag Carrying as an off-spec, or Blood PvP whenever I get overrun by 10 Horde, I can stay alive no problem because Blood is really fucking OP. With that, you have two main stat priorities for Frost DKs. The best priority for any DK, except for Unholy, is Mastery. Do not put points in Haste and reforge everything to Haste if you were going to be a Frost/Blood DK. Now, if you like Unholy for some fucking reason, like you do arenas and you're worthless, but somebody's carrying you and you're Unholy, then you're probably going to want to put your shit to Haste because you're gimping yourself, because the Mastery for Unholy fucking blows. When you have all this shit set to Mastery, you have your Glove Enchant, your Boot Enchant, everything that doesn't have Mastery on it reforged to Mastery. You can get anywhere from 34 to 36% extra frost damage. Because I run Flag Carrying in Blood, I have more resilience gems than I would put as to something else, like Mastery and Strength. So with that, almost 5k Resil definitely helps for Blood, and it definitely helps for Frost, because Frost DKs, whether people who are not DKs say it or not, they don't have a lot of survivability. The reason that we're so good is because we can kill a motherfucker in about 7 seconds. So when you have all your points put in the Mastery, you can do 34% extra frost damage, and that ties into your Frost Strike, and that ties into your Howling Blast, and those are your two key moves that you are going to use as a DK. Your runes, are pretty much all going to be frost, up until you go into your unholy runes, which you should use for your necrotic strike. So when you get onto a target, what I do personally is I go in like a fucking bat out of hell, and I'm gonna kill a motherfucker in 7 seconds. If I can't kill him in those 7 seconds, that means I'm gonna have to wait at least another minute for my Pillar of Frost to come back, or 2 minutes for my trinket to reset, or at the most 5 minutes where I start all over again with Empower Rune Weapon. So I come out of nowhere, I aggro, I see this fucking nerd just sitting over there. He's probably just fucking healing like a faggot. So I'm gonna go in there, I'm gonna fucking put my diseases on him, and start using all my shit. So you're pretty much, your rotation as a Frost DK is to dump all your runes until you see a Killing Machine proc. If you don't see any Killing Machine procs, dump your runic power before it gets to 110 or 100 depending on how you have your talents set up. So keep an eye on your fucking meters. I don't have Horn of Winter up. I turn that back on. All of a sudden shit's hitting the fan. So I press all my trinkets. I want to use my trinket first, Pillar of Frost, and then Blood Tap. And it doesn't matter really if you miss it, if you fuck it up. You don't want to wait. The trick to being a Frost DK is not waiting. So use the Blood Tap to get your Pillar of Frost going, and if you need runes, all of a sudden all my runes are gone up here. I hit Shift 2, Empower Rune Weapon, my runes are back. There's no one that's gonna fucking survive this. Unless you are stunned or slowed or silenced or disarmed, there's no one that's gonna survive this. I've seen other people using different rune forges for their weapon. These are the best that I've personally tried and seen. I've seen and tried Cinder Glacier, which is nice for like a quick burst, but the 10% extra frost damage to the target that you're fighting is perfect for what we're doing. The occasional 2-time burst that you get about once every 2 minutes that I've personally seen is really not that great. You can also put the Rune Forge that is the equivalent of the weapon chain for the nerds that don't play DKs, but that is a very, very rare situation where you're disarmed and not using your 10% extra frost damage to your target. So that's the reason I do that. So you come up, fucking, you see the nerd, you want to change them if they're running, put your diseases on them, doesn't matter, use all your shit that's open to you, and pretty much press all the buttons that you can until you're out of runes and you're out of runic power. In a situation that you are out of runes and you are out of runic power, then you're fucked and you're not going to be doing anything for at least 8 seconds. In that time though, your Horn of Winter is probably back up. So you hit your trinket, you hit your fucking thing, and now you're back doing damage. The highest burst that you can get, and it does look a little bit lower damage on this target dummy, and that is because at this point I only have 5% hit chance. And the reason I do that is because I don't slay dragons. The nerds slay dragons, and I'm not a nerd. I just kill them. So when I have it set to 5%, all of my spells and special abilities here are going to hit no matter what. So you can go into SCADA, you can look at your damage, you can see all your moves that you use, and the only things that you're going to miss are 12 auto attacks and maybe 10 glances. Don't know really what that means, but I don't really give a fuck. Look at this guy, left the guild. Who is this scrub? Oh, he left, went offline. What a nub. Alright, so that is how to play Frost DK. Like I said, you go down, you jump a lot, you're probably fucking following, chasing the dude, you're running around a lot. Try to strafe as much as possible so they can't really hit you, and press all of your buttons at once. Stop if you need to, just to get a bunch of shit off. In most cases you're going to be kited because you do a fuck ton of damage all at once. If you're out of moves, you hit your Horn of Winter, your runes are back, your fucking runic power is back. I'm not being starved, I'm critting a lot. People are fucking dying. Just like Chaos Spanker would, just like any horde would, like the Sons of Blackhand Guild that just came out of nowhere, seeking stardom, but sorry, they're not gods, we are. because I'm the fucking God DK. And that's it.